I recently saw this post on social media from an event designer who's also a planner, posting that she just completed an event. It's a big scale event. And after the event, the day after the event, she was so tired. She was saying that she couldn't move her body. She basically lay in bed for almost the whole day, but she's so happy that the event was over. She did it. She did what she was contracted to do. She went above and beyond, but she is so tired. And this is not the first time that I see event planners, designers, decorators sharing their experience after executing an event. They will share how tired they are, but how proud they are of their accomplishment. I think it's extremely important for us in this very fast-paced industry that we take the time to acknowledge that we did a great job. Okay, extremely important, because I know that for the first, I would say, many years for in my business for M2 Hospitality, my event planning company, I will just do one event after another, one event after another. Okay, I don't give myself the time to enjoy or see the fruits of my labor, that I executed a top-notch event, that I did a good job, my vendor did a good job. I would tell my vendors that they did a good job, but I never tell myself that I did a good job. So I never take the time to actually soak in how much work I actually put in for each of these events and pat myself on the back. So I commend and I applaud these planners, designers, decorators for acknowledging that they did an excellent job. The event turned out really well. I'm so happy that they're taking the time to acknowledge that. But what is troubling me is almost every single post, when they say that they are so happy that the event went so well, it's always accompanied by, I'm so tired, I couldn't move for the next few days. Basically they're wiped out, they're totally exhausted. And it is troubling for me, because that is not a sustainable way to grow your business. I don't know, I don't know what exactly is the real intention when they say that. They are complaining, but in a good way. It's just like giving yourself a compliment, but in a backhand manner. It's like, I worked so hard, then this result was so good, but I worked so hard for it. Why don't we just stop the complaining? I put an air quote, okay? Let's stop the complaining part and acknowledge that we did a great job. Okay, we did a great job. And if you are truly feeling wiped out, extremely exhausted after every event that you had done, there's something wrong. There is something wrong. And the reason why I say that is, listen, this is my opinion, okay? You may not agree with me, but there are different ways to grow a business. I personally do not believe, in order for the business to grow, I do not believe that you have to be present and be fully hands-on on the day of execution, because that really limits how you can scale. And the reason why I chose to talk about this particular topic, which the title of today's topic is Stop Glamorizing How Tired You Are After Each Event. Okay, stop glamorizing your pain after each event, your physical pain after each event. Do not glamorize your scars, your war wounds in our industry, right? We say that, right? these are all my war wounds, you know, like you see blistered toes, you see blister on your feet, your hands couldn't move because you were doing a lot of hands-on stuff, doing floral, I don't know. So don't glamorize it and think that this is normal, okay? I want to highlight this at this particular time of the year, all right? So we're talking about the second week into January. I want to highlight this, that it is not normal to feel that way after executing every single event. And why do I want to highlight this at this time of the year? Because if you are thinking to start a business, all right, and you are seeing all these posts on social media that this is the norm. If you are a planner, designer, decorator, this is the norm. The norm is you should feel tired. You should have all these scars or all this pain in your body after you do an event. I do not want you to think that this is normal, okay? This is not normal. You have a choice not to feel that way. And because you are seeing it so often on social media, you would assume that, or that I would say for sure you will assume, but the probability of you assuming that this is how the business is built is going to be very, very high, because perception becomes reality, and that's the perception that you're getting because that's what the social media is showing. I want you to take a pause and really ask yourself, is this real? Is there another way to build the business where you will not feel like that after every single event? I will tell you that there is a way. There is a way to structure your business. And the reason why I'm talking about it now at this early part of the year is if you're thinking to start a business, you need to start thinking about how to structure your business. You may be thinking that you are a one-woman show, you are a one-man show. Therefore, you have to be present every single step of the way. And I'll tell you that's not true. And I'll share with you why that's not true. Because I am in that situation. I can have multiple events going on the same day and in different parts of the country, and I don't have to be there. So I am sitting here doing what I have already done, the planning, okay, passing on the instruction, the delegation, and then I trust whoever is on the ground to do what they're supposed to do. And I educate my clients to trust the vendors that I pick and to trust my on-site person who's executing it so that I don't have to be there. Remember, you are the CEO of the business, okay? Am I going to say that I have not felt pain, physical pain, the next day after all my events? No, there were some events that I was there, okay? That I was there, the client paid me to be there, and I executed the event. And of course, I feel tired, right? But never to the extent of what I'm seeing on social media, and not for every single event, because I know that this is not the way to sustain the business, to scale the business, to be able to do multiple events within the same day or back to back, because there's only one me. And I want you to know that there's another way, all right, to build the business. And I want to highlight to you that if they are this group of planners, designers, and decorators, if they are showing on the social media that they're so happy that they've done a really good event, they did a really good event, and they're feeling very tired, there's nothing wrong with that. This is their way of running their business. This is how they choose to run their business, okay? This is how they feel that they are needed, seen, fulfilled. And maybe this is how they survive in terms of seeking the happiness. This is what fulfills them. This is what makes them want to start the business, to continue to grow the business by being fully hands-on. And their way of wanting to build a successful business is not to scale, they may not want to scale. They may just want to do X amount of events by themselves, okay, in this period of time and making this amount of money. So they may not be thinking of making a lot more, okay, generating a lot more revenue by scaling. They may not want that. They may want to have full control of every single detail of the event, and they want to be on site. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I am calling this out because I want to show different perspective. Okay? So I want to make it clear. If you are one of those planners, designers, or decorators who are hands-on like that, and I just describe you, just know that you do you. You do you, okay? But that's not what I subscribe to. All right. And my whole goal of this session is to let the newbies, especially the people who are new in building the business in the events field as a planner, decorator, and designer, or who are still deciding how to structure their business. They have been in the business, but they're deciding which path to take because they are so tired. They have decided that I do not want to do this anymore. I have my fun on site, but I don't think I can do this in the long term. I want you to know there's another way. There were days, okay, there were days that I actually enjoy being on site, being hands-on, really be in deep with my vendors, really setting up, really being hands-on, okay, not overseeing, but actually doing. There were some events I actually did it. I get my feel of, I get my feel as in FILL, okay, my feel of being one with the team, like when I actually am doing it. Sometimes we feel that if we are overseeing and not really working at the event, it's like we're lazy, or it's like we're giving the impression that we are too mighty, like we're too proud, or you put yourself on a pedestal that you're above others. Oh, absolutely not. Okay? You, as the owner of the company, you are not above anybody. Okay? You're not above your vendors. You're not above your client. You're not above your staff. You are all one. But you need to identify your role. All right? When I go on site for my event, I identify my role. My role is the delegator. My role is the visionary. I will create, for majority of my events, my big scale one especially, I create a playbook. And the playbook have many pages segmented by days. And each day, there are different responsibility by different people. So all the people who are on site will have this playbook. So everybody knows what they're supposed to do. So my job as the business owner, if I want to be hands-on, this is how I am being hands-on. I see the whole picture on the day of the event or during the duration of the event. I see the before, what needs to be done before. I see what needs to be done on site, and I see what needs to be done when we wrap up the event. So I create the whole vision. And this whole vision has a manual, has an SOP. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do. That's how I get hands-on. When I go on site, I don't involve myself in the hands-on of putting on the decor, hanging the drapes, setting up the audio visual, setting up, chairs, tables. No, I do not get involved because I have people that I trust to be able to do that. So I'm able to conserve my energy, right? My physical energy, my mental energy in making sure everybody is supposed to do what they're supposed to do. Okay, they do what they're supposed to do. So I oversee the operation. Therefore, I am not beaten to death the next day My legs are not cramping. I don't have blisters. I walk around. I wear comfortable shoes, of course, but I'm not doing the heavy lifting. Basically, that's how I run my business. And if I have multiple events a day, then I clone myself. I clone somebody and I train somebody who has the capability to do the visionary work and who's able to do the playbook. And they are able to also have their on-site team. That's how we scale. Again, you don't have to do that. If this is not how you see yourself, you don't have to do that. You see yourself being in control. You want to be on site. You want to take care of every single nitty-gritty detail. You want to do the setup. You want to do the teardown. You want to do it all because you are a control freak, or you just get a lot of fulfillment out of that. That's fine. But I want you to ask yourself this question, okay? Remember, last year, we talked about part 1. You start your business because you want to fulfill your passion, doing what you love. Very important. You want to be paid for doing what you love, okay? And you want to have time freedom, right? Not one entrepreneur that I spoke with tells me that I want to start a business because I want to fulfill my passion and I want to make a lot of money, and not followed by, I want to have the time freedom to do what I want when I want, okay? So not one of them will leave out this part about time freedom, okay? The flexibility of time, the freedom of time. Not one will tell me that I don't want that. I will want to work all day, all night so that I don't, and I am, I'm being paid to play. I work all day, all night. This is not work because I enjoy what I do. So I don't need the time. Not one person will tell me that I don't want the time to go travel. I don't want the time to just relax. I don't want the time to hang out with my family. Every single one tells me that I want the money, I want to be paid to play, and I want to be able to have the time freedom. So ask yourself, okay? Those of you who wants to be on site every single event, and then the next day you glamorize how much pain you are in, but at the same time, you are feeling so proud of your work. I want you to ask yourself, are you getting the time freedom? Are you getting the time freedom? Because you're definitely getting the financial freedom. Hopefully you're charging a lot, okay? You're making money to compensate for this pain, all right? And you are also able to fulfill your goal of you are being paid to do what you love to do. So you got these two checked. But what about the time freedom? That means if you are sick, you cannot do this event. You cannot book this event. All right. You cannot go on vacation. So it's all you. It all relies on you. Your business relies on you because you have not extract yourself out from the day-to-day operation. I had a podcast interview with one of the leaders in the events field, okay? And you should go look, last name is Kieran, can't remember what's his first name. It's just a slip of my mind. So anyways, go look at my YouTube video, go look at my, my previous podcast episode. And this guy was retired at 30 years old, okay? 30 years old. And the first thing he told me was how he could do that was he extract himself out from the day-to-day operation. And that means client fulfillment. The first thing he did is he made sure that he doesn't have to be present for any client fulfillment responsibilities. His presence is not needed, okay? He will do the behind-the-scene planning, just like what I do. And then on-site, he leaves it to his team. That was the very first thing that he said he trained himself to do. And for every single entrepreneur that he talks to, he says, you want to have time freedom? That's how you're going to do it. That's how you can extract yourself from the things that really does not require your talent, okay? Because your talent is the planning, the visionary, and the delegation, and then trust somebody else to do the execution. You may be thinking that, but I'm just starting, I want to be involved. Go for it. That's exactly what I did. When I was starting M2 Hospitality, I would say the first 2-3 years, I was on site for every single event. I was actually pretty hands-on. And then I realized that after being 2-3 years in the business, I realized that, oh my God, by doing that, I couldn't be at more than one place at one time. So my vision is I want to scale the revenue and I want to work less, right? Everybody tells me that I want to work less, but then they still somehow involve themselves on the day-to-day on-site execution operation, okay? So how are you going to work less? Something's got to give. And again, there's no right or wrong. If that is your path, you want to be involved, and you will only take a break, okay, when you see that you have no events happening, and you don't really know, because sometimes the events can be last minute, can be booked the month for the month or 2 months out, or you plan your time off 2 months out or 1 month out when you see that, oh, I have no events, okay, let me take time off. That's how you want to plan your life. That's how you want to run your business. And so that it allows you to be on site every single time. And you can still have time freedom. You do you. But I'm not like that. I plan my vacation a year out so I can do my financial projection as well. And I also allow myself to double book, triple book, okay? And also to be able to find the resources, the manpower way in advance, knowing that I will not be there on site. So I do not have the strong desire to be on site for every single event when I don't see the need for me to be on site for every single event. Not to say that this event is not high profile enough, complex enough for me to be on site. That's because I chose not to be on site, because I know that we have already had very clear communication. My client trusts my vendors. My client trusts the on-site operations person that I have hired for the event to be there. So I want you to know, when you see all these posts that are glamorizing how much pain they're going through, but they're so proud that they did an excellent event. There's nothing wrong with that, but that is not the one way or the highway of building your business, okay? That is not the norm. That is not the norm. Neither is it something wrong. There's no right or wrong. It's your choice, but that is not just that one way to build your business, all right? And I chose the other path. And I'm happy that I chose the other path, because I have defined my life. The time freedom is so much more important for me, as well as the financial freedom. I do not have a scale where the financial freedom and the freedom and the opportunity to fulfill my passion for events is so high up there, but my time freedom is so low on the totem pole. No, I strike a balance in my own head, okay? The balance in my head, my balance may not be your balance. Again, I want to be very clear about that for me, they have the same amount of weight in how I want to live my life and how I want to structure my business, okay? So when you see those posts again, ask yourself, do I want to be like them? Do I want to feel like that? The next day after the event, there is a lot of joy, a lot of pride. Yes, but do I want to feel that way only after I suffer, air quote, only after I suffer at the event? Don't want to build my business like that. If you feel that this pain is pure joy and it gives you the validation that you are actually building your business and executed an event, do it. Okay? Some people, just like they go to the gym, they pump super heavy weight iron. Okay? They lift very, very heavy weight. They did a hardcore workout. And then they are so sore the next day, but that pain is joy, because they can say that I worked so hard at the gym and I have done something good for my body. It's exactly the same analogy, all right? But I don't want to do that. When I go to the gym, I don't push myself that hard. I push myself more than what I'm used to. I increase my weight every single time, right? When my body is ready to increase the weight, I do that so that I can go back to the gym the next day, the next day, the next day, and have continuous improvement and not go all out, carry super heavy weight, and then I'm out of commission for 2 weeks. That's not how I live my life. Some people are like that. That's what we call the weekend warriors, right? Weekend gym warriors. And some people build their business that way. There's no right or wrong, but that's not how I build it, okay? So every time you see something or you hear something, when you talk to business owners, when you see social media, question that. Like, is that how I want to live? Can I resonate with that? And is that how I want to build my business? And if you feel 100%, okay, that's what I want to do, then do it. But here, I'm giving you another option. So when you see other business owners who tells you that this is not how I do it, like myself, I just gave you the whole roadmap how I did it, then you ask yourself, do I want to be like May? Or do I want to be like this other planner designer and or decorator that is like this? They are very, very involved. They get a lot of fulfillment, coupled with the pain, physical pain, okay? Coupled with not having very much time for time off. I have to be present all the time. Or do I want to be like May, that is more of a visionary and oversee more things, more administrative, more CEO strategy work than the actual hands-on? Which one do I want? So ask yourself, and when you're building the business, this is something that you need to start thinking now, not a couple of years down the road, because then you have to rebuild the structure of the business, which is not a bad thing, right? Which is not a terrible thing to do, but at least you know where you're heading into and how to get the foundation right. So if you are like me, then start building the foundation of documenting all your SOP, okay? Documenting all your process, your procedures, and start looking, keeping your eye out on the talents out there, start making connections, because you never know when you're going to hire these people to be your mini you, okay? But if you are on the other side of the equation, that you want to be hands-on and stuff like that, then start thinking about, all right, when can I have my next time off? All right, like how much more joy how much longer can I continue to work this way? This will be a better question. How much longer can I continue to work this way? And what happens when it comes to a time that I'm sick, right? What happens when I'm sick and I couldn't do it that day? So what is your backup plan? I want you to start thinking that way too, all right? So there are there's pros and cons for each business structure, but it has to be aligned with your values, what is important to you, and what brings you the most joy. All right. Hopefully, you're able to grasp the idea behind today's session. Probably have to listen to it a few more times, and follow my social media. All right. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on TikTok. LinkedIn. Where in my email list, just go to the show notes and look at all my different social media handles. If you need some more guidance, or if you say that, I like how May is building her business, but let me research more on how she does it, how, her methodology, or, like little tidbits of inspiration, education, motivation, go check out my social media. Hopefully, I'll be able to guide you down the path that is fulfilling for you, just like how it's fulfilling for me. I'll talk to you again next week.